just didn't get a chance to see it until recently.
I can't believe that.
But
and it's like, how did you avoid all those spoilers?
That's a good question. How did I? I knew stuff like I knew that Chris Jericho was in it, which
Of course you did.
Which in my mind, when I heard that, I'm like, oh, he must be a very big character. And I was let down by that.
Yeah, like
I knew, like, I saw all the images from it. I saw, like, all the memes that were coming out of it. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is, like, getting pretty big. And then when we did the first ever wrap-up, me and Adam did the 2022 wrap-up, I had not seen it, but he was telling me about Terrifier too. And this feels like stuff that he would not be into, but he kind of likes these movies a lot.
Oh.
So yeah, this is the one that made it big. And they did crowdfunding for this, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think they were asking for $50K and got like over $200K.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That is nice.
I think the budget was $250. And they made 12.5 million.
Yes, it was insane. Like they're like kind of changing the whole business model here.
That's why it's
and I feel like it hit
intriguing.
I feel like it hit streaming pretty quick too.
I remember seeing it in theaters, and then I could like rent it immediately.
Yeah, but I feel like it was also streaming somewhere.
Screambox.
Oh yeah, because it was like a Screambox movie.
Yes.
Yeah. So I finally watched it.
Yeah. Because we had to see Terrifier 3.
Because we had to see Terrifier 3. And I'm like, all right, let me finally watch this.
I need to hear your thoughts. Or are we waiting?
Okay, no, we'll just go through like what happens in the movie. So yeah, it's
where these characters are from. And these.
Yes. The sunglasses. Art is now resurrected, picks up where the last one left off, pretty much. He rebuilds himself.
With the eyeball.
Yeah, didn't like that. Didn't care for that.
Yeah.
Didn't care for that at all, to be honest. But he's got to clean his outfit, so I feel like he goes to the laundromat, which is really fun. Some of my favorite stuff is just seeing Art not doing serial killer stuff, just like some of the mundane shit, just like walking around.
Yeah.
It was fun seeing him like, oh, I guess I'm going to do laundry now.
Right.
But then this is when we get the hint that something else is going on. There is now a little Art, a little lady Art. We find out what this is in the third one, I think.
The little pale girl?
Yeah. I feel like he explains the origin of the girl in the third one, right?
I thought it was the second one. Maybe it was a third.
Yeah, because
she's the first girl he killed ever.
That's who he's imagining. Okay.
Yes.
But it is apparently some other entity, and they are invisible because there happens to be one unlucky guy at the laundromat.
Oh, I know.
Who witnesses this. He's like playing patty cake with her, but it's like she's invisible. Also, it's funny seeing Art naked. I thought that was funny. Just like reading the paper, which is good. Laughing
at the obituaries and whatever.
So yeah, for whatever reason, he was brought back to life, and now he sees this little girl. And then he kills the guy at the thing. But what's different about this one is we have new main characters. We hear about Victoria and what she's done. We know about it.
Right.
Because this is a year later, like I said. But yeah, we get Sienna Shaw and her brother Jonathan, right? And their mom. So they're a family. They had recently lost their father. It happened sometime in the past, but not too long ago.
Don't you love the opening scene with of Sienna? Of her, like the music.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I say this like a lot of episodes. I wrote a scene just like this, just saying, with the wings and everything.
Yes. I like that she's into cosplay and stuff. Actually, this like really helps it make it feel modern, because there are a lot of girls that are super into making their own cosplay.
Yeah.
I know a lot of them. And that is something relatable to a lot of girls right now. So I can see why like women, especially women who go to conventions and probably do cosplay, why they're really gravitating toward this character.
But can I ask who you thought of when you saw the costume?
With the angel? Well, I mean, I was thinking of like Angela from Spawn, or Wonder Woman's got that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Wonder Woman's got that golden eagle armor. Why? Who did you think
right. Xena Warrior Princess.
Yeah, I see that too.
Yeah.
A little bit of Xena. I mean, those characters were all coming around the same time. Yeah, so she is a very likable character. Whereas the last movie, I was like, eh.
I think she could use a little bit more depth, a little bit more meat.
Well, I think they're adding that into the series.
Oh, it's getting there. But I would have loved to have seen just like, because she comes from a martial arts background in real life. I would have loved to see that in the movie and then have it pay off at the end.
Yeah.
Because it kind of comes out of nowhere. But I guess she has those powers.
Yes. Spoiler.
We'll see. Spoiler. Next.
But yeah, she's also like a Philly native.
Yes.
And I think the only other thing, I was trying to see if I saw her or anything. I think she played like a bit part in one of the Iron Fist seasons, that Marvel Netflix show. And her brother is like obsessed with serial killers.
In the show. In the movie.
In the movie. Yeah, not in real life. I don't know if she has a brother in the real life, but in the movie, her brother Jonathan is obsessed with serial killers, and he's really like zeroing in on the Art the Clown stuff. Because I guess it's fresh. It happened near them.
Yeah.
So he's like psyching himself up about it. We're learning other stuff here that like apparently their father was an artist who was into a lot of like, he drew like comics and stuff like that. But we learned that he was drawing Art the Clown.
Yes.
And
his victims.
Yes. And they're wondering why. And now it's kind of implied that he was getting some kind of like supernatural thing getting him to draw that. And having watched All Hallows Eve, in the Alien segment, the girl is talking about how her husband is an artist. And she's like, I hate this new painting he made. And they're like, what's wrong with it? And she's just like, it looks nothing else like anything else he's done. And he just says he doesn't know why he painted it. So I feel like that was like an idea in that they then put in here.
That's good.
Where there's some, because the painting in All Hallows Eve ends up being Art the Clown.
Oh, I have chills. That's like the scene in The Conjuring 2 when he's painting the nun.
Yes, yes. So yeah, it reminds me of that, where there's some kind of supernatural force that's like somehow influenced their father before he died to...
You're going to have to walk me to my car. I'm scared now.
Should I wear the Art the Clown suit?
We're going to skip.
So yeah, so we get a lot of interesting backstory. We're getting to know this family. We're getting to like them. We learn more about Sienna and her friends.
This is what they used the crowdfunding money for.
Okay.
It was for the clown cafe scene.
Oh, right.
Personally, I could have done without it.
Food's a little funny at the clown cafe.
But that song's catchy.
I think me and another guy you know have the same opinion. Some scenes in this movie go on a little too long.
Yeah, it's 2 hours and like 20 minutes.
Yeah, and this, it didn't need to be. There were some of these where I'm like, you could have trimmed a couple minutes off of this.
Yeah, but
You're right, I forgot about the dream sequence. Yeah, which again is also very brutal because he basically does a mass shooting.
Yes. And a lot of the people who were backers of the crowdfunding are in that scene.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And I guess that rubbed people the wrong way. And it's like, well, because he's like machine gunning people. And it's just like, unfortunately, that's what happens in real life. Why can't a bad guy in a movie do that? That's one thing I like about Art. He's like bringing slashers like
he's a realist
into the modern era of like what we find scary, and that's something we all find scary. It's just a guy unloading, and it's like, oh, why not see it in the film? It's like they kind of made fun of it in Halloween 2018. I remember the kids are talking about like the original murders, and the kid's got a good point. He's like, Art, he stabbed a couple people like 40 who like the worst shit happens every day. The worst shit happening every day is Art the Clown now.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah, that is like a rough scene because it looks like a kid's TV show.
Yeah.
They're all being brutalized.
Yeah, and then her wings burn. So she has to go get new wings at the store called Abracadabra in real life.
Yes, which is where, by the way, I thought these glasses were a bigger part of the movie. They're literally just in one scene.
Yeah, and they didn't even specially make them.
Yeah.
They just bought a ton of glasses, and this one was the one that appealed to them most, and now they're so popular. But they did that scene in inspiration from Pee-wee's Big Adventure when he's doing all the weird glasses.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at the girl.
Again, this is the art stuff that I like, just him being wacky.
Right.
Can you do could they make like a joke edit where it's like a G-rated version of Terrifier? And
I'm sure there's one out
and it's just Art being wacky, but all the violence is kind of... Like, I know they did that with like Deadpool 2 a few years ago. They did a Merry Little Deadpool where he's reading to Fred. You've seen Princess Bride, right?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah, they were Deadpool's telling the story, but it's like PG-13 now. I want that with Terrifier, just Terrifier told, but G-rated. It'll be great. So yeah, she has to get the new wings, and then her friend.
What? Well, we got the killing at the store.
Yeah,
Don't
there's
forget
a killing
that.
at the store.
But remember, he puts the close sign on.
Yeah.
Whatever, and then a kid and his mom want to go into the store. Well, that mom is from Halloween 4. She's the blonde devil in Halloween 4.
Oh, you mean Halloween 5? That was the one with the blonde
Halloween
devil.
5.
Yes. I did not.
The one we just watched.
I did not pick up on that.
Yeah, it was her because when we were doing Halloween 4, I Googled her.
Yeah.
And it's a Terrifier, too.
Yeah.
And I was like, who the heck is she in that?
You
And
just
that's
said
who she
4
is.
again, 5. The episode is what is
Oh
the
my
worst
God.
Halloween 4.
I just gotten 5 out of my mind.
Because, well, it is confusing because it is Halloween 5, but it is the 4th in the stories.
That's why I'm getting it confusing. Yeah, but then I looked it up and she plays the mom.
Oh, that's
who
cool.
she is. Yeah,
I didn't
cameo.
realize that. There are a lot of cameos. Of course, I can never not see Felissa Rose.
Yeah.
I saw her right away.
She should have been longer.
Yeah, I was shocked she was not in this
'Cause
longer.
they list it's on her like posters now. So
Oh yeah, so the brother also has some kind of supernatural ability because he can see the little pale girl.
yes.
Yes. We don't know what's giving, well, we find out what's giving Art his supernatural powers in the third one, but we don't know what's really giving them their powers.
I know. And he sees them, Art the clown and the little pale girl playing with a possum, a dead
Yeah.
possum. That was a real possum.
Well, it's easy to find them.
Ew.
So yeah, he's getting visions. I think he gets accused of killing the possum.
Yeah.
He gets pinned on it. The mom's not happy about it.
She is so angry the whole movie. And I liked her in the beginning. Like, I thought it was realistic. But then she's just like, oh my God, it's just too much. Like,
She's also not thrilled with Sienna's costume.
at first.
Yeah, I like it.
Your tits are practically popping out.
They are not. So many guys like it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like it as much as they do, probably, but I'm like, yeah, it's a cool costume.
Yeah, it is.
And then Sienna has a friend named Allie.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one that got you, right?
Her name is, that is her. Her name's Casey in real life.
Yeah.
This is the scene. I remember watching this scene, and I was like, why do I like this stuff? I questioned everything. Like, I almost gave up
I feel like we
horror.
did a commentary. Maybe it was Dracula. I'm like, why do you like horror? It doesn't seem like that'd be a thing.
I know. And then I called my mom on the way home. Like, that movie made me want to call my mom.
I'm shocked this scene.
Just like Barbie did. I say that in the Barbie episode, something about Terrifier too.
Well, I remember you you kept hinting that there was a scene that like really got to you.
Yes, it was that.
Oh, I assumed it was going to be the poop room scene.
Oh, no.
But yeah, because when I watched this, I went, oh, okay. I get
Totally.
it's a horrifying thing, but again, for me, it just feels like it just goes on a little bit.
I think just how mean-spirited Art the Clown is with that bleach and salt.
Yeah, that was pretty
That's
rough.
torture.
He's real
That's
into
finding
torture.
pleasure in torture.
Yeah.
And then to completely, what's the word? What is it when you're just like, add a chicken?
Skin or
turkey?
mutilate? Or...
Yeah. Yeah, just having fun with the body.
Yes.
And then she's still alive and says, Mom? Yeah, no.
It's pretty horrifying.
And you should have seen my boyfriend Ian's face after that. Literally, I have a picture of it. And I still couldn't even watch it, but I'm like trying to see what his reactions. And then the next day, the first thing he says in the morning, I'm not seeing Terrifier 3.
And then we all saw Terrifier 3. When you were like, Ian's coming, I'm like, oh no. I'm like, oh, buddy.
He had no choice. I said, we have to see it or we have to see it on vacation. Now or never. I mean, now or on vacation.
I felt that. I apologize because I was just like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey, now he sends me tons of Art the Clown stuff, so I think he's growing on him. Also, the Einstein Kill song, we're obsessed.
I didn't listen to it yet.
Have you seen the video?
No, I didn't watch
We
the
should
video
watch
yet
it.
either.
Can we watch it when we're done?
But yeah, huh?
Can we watch it when we're done?
Yes, I also want to show you a trailer for a movie that's coming out because I'd like to give your opinion on it. 'cause
Okay.
It's ridiculous. It's playing in one theater within 100 miles of us. So like the storyline here is like she's at a party.
There's tilapia fillets down here.
You know what's funny? Monica pointed it out too. That's just a box I used for moving. That's not really.
I'm sorry.
There are Godzilla toys in there for the twins. That's not really.
I love that I see something new each time. Tilapia fillets.
So she gets high at the party. The brother does he escapes. He leaves the house. Because he gets punished.
But okay, yes, he runs away.
Yes, and then the mom gets a shotgun to the face.
Whew.
That is creepy when Art's just sitting in the car, like really
He's
still.
so creepy.
And he's just like, boom. I'm like, oh God.
Blown that face open.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So the rest of the film is like Sienna has to save her brother.
Uh-huh.
He has
But
what?
come on. After that, the mom, so after that, Jonathan returns home.
Yeah.
And then sees the mom at the kitchen table.
Yeah.
And out comes Art serving mashed potatoes in the mom's blown up head.
I will say this part didn't hit me as hard because I recently watched another movie with someone's mom whose face was caved in at a table, and that was Human Centipede 2.
Oh.
We reviewed it.
Oh my gosh. I watched the reviews because I can't
well,
watch those movies.
That's the thing. Like those movies I feel like especially 2 is definitely more brutal than these. They feel more realistic than these with the violence and stuff. Yeah, Human Centipede 2. I can't wait to never watch Human Centipede 2 again. I'm going to have to watch Human Centipede 3 soon.
Ew.
I don't think I ever saw it.
Was that the prison one?
That's the prison
Ew.
one. So yeah, he finds the mom all messed up. And then does Art, sorry, because I've only seen this once. Art is the one who takes him to the Terrifier, right?
The Terrifier.
Which is a
theme
haunted
park
house.
attraction.
And now these scenes, by the way, I knew about these scenes because they filmed at Philadelphia's Fright Factory, or at least some of it was filmed at Philadelphia's Fright Factory. I spent a lot of time, well, I filmed like 2 videos there, and I spent a lot of time filming videos there. So I knew about that going in. Like I had seen pictures of Art in the bathroom with all the poop everywhere. I'm like, I know that bathroom. What is it? When I worked for Ed Bassmaster, we did a fake Star Wars 7 set leak video, and we shot it there and we used all the props. So I was really happy that they used the giant rat head because we used the giant rat head in our thing.
Obviously, we have Rancor here.
And then I shot Justin Silverman did a music video for someone there, and I helped film the music video there. So I filmed in all those rooms. Like, oh, I know that layout, that corridor.
Nice.
So I really enjoy all the stuff inside the Terrifier.
Yeah, I gotta go. I want to go there.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. For a minute, I thought you meant you got to go now. I'm like, we're only on what? We're in the middle of a thing, Casey. She gets her friends to take her there, and the one guy.
Well, because she gets a fake phone call.
Right,
the little pale girl.
So Art can't talk, but apparently the pale girl can talk and pick up the phone somehow.
And, use someone else's voice.
Yes.
There's also a part before Jonathan goes into the house when he's going home. He sees the van with the little pale girl in it.
Yeah.
It is not the little pale girl. It is literally, because they did have to get, that little girl had to get, what's it called when they...
Oh, the mold, the cast.
She had to do that. And I think that's when they used it. Because it looks so strange. Because what else would they have to?
I don't know.
She probably couldn't like work those hours or something. So
yeah, probably. With kids. What?
So they probably use
Yeah. I was going to say real quick, you said about voice changing.
Yeah.
I don't think you watched it yet, but I remember in Scream 3, the killer has that voice changing box. Are you like me where you're like, how the hell does that work? I mean, it makes sense now with AI, but back then you're like, how the hell does that work? Casey, I did a bonus video on the Scream 3 assembly cut, and there's a whole deleted scene that shows you how he does it.
Cool.
But since they didn't want to spoil the killer, Ghostface is at a computer in the costume doing this. So you have to think the killer puts on the costume. It's like, I'm doing bad guys. I think that's why they cut it out.
Yeah.
Because they knew people were going to be curious about the voice box, but they're probably laughing at the fact that Ghostface is on a computer in the costume.
Yeah, that's something out of Scary Movie.
Go back and check out that video out, though. And my Fox TV cut of Scream 2. I'm the only one who has a copy of it. I recorded it when I was 12, and I just never got rid of it. The censored for the cursing is really funny.
I love it.
So yeah, there's like this big. Most of the movie takes place in the Terrifier, and we're learning stuff where like there's a reason Sienna's dad drew the angel and gave her the sword. Something
Right.
was calling to him to do it, and we
Yeah.
find out that like, so whatever demonic energy is making Art do all this stuff, there is a reverse energy for Sienna. Because she dies at one point and literally just like a Valkyrie, a warrior angel gets resurrected.
That's the coolest scene.
I kind of like this shit. This is not stuff. This
I
feels
love it.
unique for slasher films.
Oh, I love it.
Occasionally you get a super powered person who fights Freddy or Freddy
Mm-hmm.
or Jason. Well, mostly Freddy. You got like the Dream Master, the Dream
Right,
Warriors.
right.
And then Jason, you have Carrie. The girl who can move things with her mind. Not really Carrie. She's basically Carrie,
Yeah.
but yeah. But you don't really see that too often. So I'm like, oh, I kind of like that they don't need to put this much lore in it, but I
Right.
appreciate that they are, because that is like what's keeping me invested in this series. I'm
Me
like, I kind of want to
too.
see where this is going. And I like these characters now. I like her brother. I like her.
Yes, and yes. So the
Yeah.
friends take her there though,
Yes.
and
Oh yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
forgot to circle back to that. The boyfriend.
circle back.
The boyfriend, he's like me. He really needs to pee and he'll just do it anywhere,
Anywhere.
but he picked the worst time to do it.
Oh,
And then that girl's death in the bathroom was pretty rough.
it's bad.
Again, Art is very brutal.
And you know how they got the bubbles right on the face?
know how they do that?
Condoms.
Oh, that makes sense.
So, cause
So many effects are used with condoms,
I know.
by the way. In the
that's what
original
I'm learning after all these.
the original Last House on the Left, when they pull the
Reviews.
girls' intestines out, it's just condoms tied together.
Ew, that's gross. But yeah, apparently, like Damian Leone was on the side, like blowing into something, and it just activated them all. That's so cool.
That's cool. Yeah, so that's a pretty brutal death, but I love the fighting between Art and Sienna.
Oh, it's so good. I'm like, that is so bad.
And then she's got like the fire sword. Again, on paper, if I was
cool.
reading a script, I'd be like, what? This is so stupid. But when you see it in the movie, you're like, no, I'm digging this.
And
I'm
he
liking
whips
this.
her.
Huh?
He whips her.
No, he beats the shit out of her.
And like she's protecting her brother.
Yes.
That's why I just wish there was a little bit more, like just a little bit more backstory in the beginning.
For me, going into this, I was not expecting any. I was expecting like the first movie where I'm like, I don't really care about these people. So just the little bit I got was
Yeah.
really, really nice.
Good.
But yeah, and then it ends with her decapitating him.
And she wasn't gonna do that scream. Like
Yeah.
that wasn't in the script or anything,
Yeah.
but that's what she felt in the moment.
Oh yeah,
So
you
they kept it.
Gotta do a cool scream.
It was so good.
So she decapitates him. They leave the body there. Should not have done that. These people have never seen a Halloween movie. They leave the body there. And then it ends, but like it flashes to whatchamacallit. After she decapitates him, the little pale girl takes the head away
Oh
and
yeah.
disappears. Yeah, so the movie kind of ends there, and then there's a mid-credit scene. And again, as the movie ended, I went, where was Chris Jericho?
Yep.
And sure enough, there's Chris Jericho at the Miles County Psychiatric Ward. This is when we circle back to Vicky, who is doing weird art in her cell. Her makeup looks way better in this. And going forward. I mean, obviously, you have a better budget. It's going to look a
Yeah.
little better. Yeah, she's drawing stuff with blood.
Her blood.
They check on her, and she gives birth to Art the Clown's head. Because remember, she is also now like demonic and evil. And I guess if he dies, he could just be reborn through her. And then it smiles. It smiles
And
at her.
that girl, the nurse or whatever, is the Clown Cafe singer.
Oh! Oh, wait, I think I did see that in the credits.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good cliffhanger to end on.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
This one, I can see why people like this one. I like this one. As someone who was lukewarm on the first Terrifier, I really dig this. I agree with Ian. It's too long.
Way long.
It's too long.
I agree.
Could have trimmed it down a little bit. But no, I appreciate the lore building. The cinematography is really good in it.
The writing got a little better.
Yeah, the writing got a little better. The acting has gotten better.
Oh,
Yeah, this one pretty much fires on all cylinders. I think it's just the length.
Yeah.
It needs to be trimmed down a bit.
But I think
yeah,
it's solid.
it's solid. It's really, really good. And this is the one that blew it up. Suddenly you have Art the Clown in Spirit Halloween. Art the Clown is everywhere.
Everywhere.
Again, I saw him in Astronomicon. He had a pretty big following. And then we saw him after this movie came out, and their lines were very long.
Yeah, I remember seeing them the first time at the Showboat. Really nothing there. And then now.
I always talk about, like, I should have got his autograph, but
we will. I think
no,
we should get the group picture.
Going back in time. Who's blanking on his name. Who's the guy who plays Glenn in Walking Dead, the Asian guy? He's like in everything.
Oh God,
Steven Yen.
Steven Yen?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember years ago I saw Steven Yen like the first season of Walking Dead. He had like no line. We chatted with him. Like, I should have got his autograph because he is like gigantic
Yeah, he's
now.
in Nope and everything.
I remember he asked me if I watched the show, and I went, nah, shit's boring. He laughed at what I said.
Yeah.
And it turns out I was ahead of the curve because most Walking Dead fans I know, they're like, yeah, after season 2, it got real boring. I'm like, why are you still watching? They're like, gotta know how it ends.
That's so funny.
No, you can tap out. I've tapped out of a lot of shows.
Well, David Howard Thornton, he does follow me on Instagram.
Oh, he does.
Yes. And I did get to meet Damien the last show.
Yes.
Remember, I was like mustering up the courage.
Yeah.
And then his line, it was only cash. And I waited. And
Uh,
I had no idea it was just cash only. So I get up there and I'm like, can I at least just talk to him? And Lay's like, okay, just make it quick.
yeah.
And so I gave him one of my books. And yeah, I just told him. I
Nice.
don't know.
So yeah, it is now a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Again, it's taking the world by storm. Everyone is like, I gotta watch Terrifier 2 unless they're named Tony from Hack the Movies. Then they're saying, I'll get to it. And yeah, then they released Terrifier 3, which again, I knew it was coming out. I didn't realize people are like, oh, Terrifier 3 coming out in 2 weeks. I'm like, oh,
Right.
that's how out of
it
the,
was an anticipated movie of mine, so I knew it was coming.
yes, but that's how out of the loop I am with
Yeah,
the
what
series.
the
I
heck?
just conveniently keep missing it. And I know so much like horror stuff and follow so much horror stuff.
Yes.
But for whatever reason, my algorithm just doesn't feed me too many Terrifier
That's weird.
things.
Now on TikTok, whenever I see a Terrifier, I like it so I can see it more.
Now, to be fair, on Twitter or X, my algorithm was kind of dominated for 2 months, mostly concerning the fight between Vito and Mint Salad and Riley. That did take up a lot of my feed. Oops. So yeah, I can see how I missed a lot of this.